One, the crazy viewership. It was ridiculous for this Liberty Fever game that just happened. And then, of course, some mileage that some people flew just to see this. So looking at it here, it says the Indiana Fever and New York Liberty game on June 14, 2025 drew a large viewership with 2.22 million viewers, man. Oh.
Remember when women's basketball was background noise between snack runs? Not anymore. Caitlin Clark just hit the court like she's headlining a Marvel premiere, and suddenly, Indiana Fever versus the undefeated New York Liberty turned into a primetime spectacle. Ratings soared, fans went wild, and if you so much as blinked, you missed Clark shattering ankles and broadcast records. This isn't your grandma's WNBA. This is next level.
Guess who's back, back again. Caitlin's back. Tell Caitlin Clark Kent back in action. Where do I even start? 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 7 threes, 11 for 20 in only 31 minutes of basketball. The Indiana Fever say, come on, New York. Come on. Somebody's got to give you this first L, and I guess it's going to be us. No Jonquel Jones, but the Indiana Fever handled business.
Tell me, have you ever seen something so absurdly predictable? It's like clockwork. She steps out, rocking that Prada belt bag-like battle armor, says a word, and boom. TVs across the country flicker back to life. Ratings in the grave? Not anymore. One sneeze from her, and the WNBA's pulse jumps like it hit a defibrillator. Then she misses 5 games with a quad tweak, and suddenly silence. Like someone hit the mute button on the whole league. Viewership doesn't just dip, it vanishes. You'd think Sunday Night Baseball got benched for a reason. Ratings tanked over 50%. That's not a slump. That's a full-blown nosedive into an empty pool, echoing with nothing but the roll of digital tumbleweeds and the faint sound of regret.
The GOAT! It can only be one GOAT, man. It can only be one GOAT. What a performance by Cece. Man, this was well worth the wait. We've been waiting patiently. We've been itching, waiting for her to make her return. And boy, did she come back with a vengeance. Boy, did she come back letting the world know what they have.
And then, she's back, probably rocking the Prada belt bag like it's some enchanted artifact. 3 weeks off, 5 games gone, and the only real question is, did the sky miss her? Answer, every inch of it. Her return, straight into the fire. Fever versus the 9-0 Liberty. Undefeated. Clutch time. All or nothing. So, what does she do? She storms in like she never left, blows past average expectations like speed limits, and casually drops 25 in the first half, 7 of those buckets from deep. 7. In under 2 minutes. At that point, it wasn't basketball. It was physics-defying. She didn't just light up the court. She nearly launched the net into orbit.
For Caitlin Clark, this is her first game back in 4 or 5 games after dealing with the quad injury. And she did not disappoint. Came out with 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, almost a triple-double. But 7 3-pointers, y'all. And she was hitting them from 40 feet. Like, she was literally shooting from anywhere, and it was cashing out. In fact, at one point in time, she hit a ridiculous one that Stewie just had to throw her hands up, and they laughed all the way back down the floor because even she knew it was ridiculous.
Let the Liberty flex their cute little 9-0 record. Caitlin Clark didn't just show up. She strolled in, clocked the hype, and coolly handed them their first L like it was just another signature in the autograph line. 9-0? Try 9 and done. And did the world catch that moment? Oh, it noticed. The ratings didn't just rise. They detonated like a Mentos and Coke experiment gone wild. A 166% spike. Louder than a swarm of cicadas crashing your summer. Fever's home attendance? Over 17,000 fans packed in like it was a Coldplay World Tour stop. This wasn't just a game. It was a full-blown cultural broadcast. Part sports, part spectacle, part Oprah-level giveaway. Sneakers laced, crowd roaring, history made.
So this is major, man. This is major. Shout out to Caitlin with the motion. Caitlyn with the motion, man. We already know what's going on with that, man. Great game. The competitiveness, the love between the team, like, it was a really good game.
Now they're comparing her to Tiger Woods, and honestly, it tracks. Because when Caitlin Clark steps on the court, it's not just a game anymore. It's an economy in motion. She's not raising the numbers. She is the numbers. Take her out, and viewership drops faster than your phone battery on a TikTok binge. Put her in, and suddenly the WNBA turns into a 5-course spectacle. Fireworks, champagne, the whole show. She's not just moving the needle. She's ripping the compass off the dashboard. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA. She lit the fuse.
It's Caitlin Clark playing one of the 3 best games of her career against the undefeated New York Liberty. You can't even, like, has basically broken. It is broken to Caitlin Clark haters. So,
the wildest part? They were calling her future MVP 15 minutes in, before the popcorn finished popping. Like the universe took one look and said, yep, crown her. And really, who could argue? Caitlin Clark wasn't just playing. She was putting on a clinic while taking down the league's last unbeaten team. 1 3 turned into 2, then 5, then 17. That's not just a record. That's a full-on Mick draw. She racked up assists like she was running a giveaway, grabbed rebounds like they owed her something, and put up so many points the scoreboard probably needed a reboot. By halftime, coaches looked dazed, teammates just shrugged like, what you even say? And the crowd? Fully unhinged. This wasn't a game, it was her Hall of Fame teaser trailer, and she made it look effortless.
I want to hear any Caitlin Clark slander after today's game. I do not want to hear any Caitlin Clark slander after today's game. As you guys know, I was going to give my quad up for Caitlin Clark. I was giving my wife's quad up for Caitlin Clark. I was giving up anyone's quad for Caitlin Clark. Got told she was going to play today, and I was like, she's probably going to take it light. 32 points? 32 points? I think she had like 6 rebounds, 8 assists, maybe vice versa. Like, absolutely.
I don't want to hear any Caitlin Clark slander after today. I was ready to give up my quad, my wife's quad for her. Thought she'd take it easy. No. She dropped 32 points, grabbed rebounds, dished out assists, just wrecked it. Now let's be real. Take her out, and the ratings crash. Chicago without her? Dead quiet. La, Phoenix, any team she's not on. Barely 6 figures watching. Feels like a rerun of amateur mini golf at 3 a.m. No shade to the rest of the league. There's talent. But Caitlin, she moves the numbers. She is the numbers. Right now, she's the WNBA's oxygen. And that's the question. What happens if she's out? Because the league is riding a comet. And if it burns out, silence.
Why I did not care about the Fever going 2-3 while Caitlin Clark was out. They asked me why I didn't really care about Stephanie White's offensive philosophies without Caitlin Clark. Well, here we are, back in effect. The Indiana Fever hand the New York Liberty their first loss of the season in Caitlin Clark's return game. Huge Saturday afternoon battle, national TV. Caitlin Clark drops 32 points, 9 assists, 8 boards, 7 made threes, the only player in WNBA history with that stat line, and basically announces to the league.
And the league knows it. The second Caitlin Clark hit the WNBA, the schedule changed overnight. Fever games went from local matchups to national events. ABC, ESPN, NBA TV, every network wanted in. Out of 44 nationally televised games this season, 41 feature the Indiana Fever. That's not a schedule, that's a spotlight. For comparison, the defending champion Aces don't get that much airtime. The stacked New York Liberty, just 32 national games. Impressive, unless you're next to Clark's 41. She's not just a player. She's the headline of main event, and the storyline the league is built around. Fever games aren't just games anymore. They're must-watch TV.
Yeah, she's back. Caitlin Clark drops 35 after her 5-game layoff from injury. It was at a point where she scored 9 points in less than 45 seconds. I mean, crossing the half-point line, 1 dribble, and just pulling it from the logo. Like, these plays are just mind-blowing. Y'all know she definitely got a tech for yelling at a ref, too. That's, like, prime Caitlin Clark. It was at a point where she pulled from the logo and her and Stewart were just laughing because it was just that unbelievable. I told y'all, face of the league, you can't deny it. How this can translate into the postseason, y'all about to see the Indiana Fever make a real run. They got the players, they got the fan base, they got the star. All they need to do is make that deep run into the playoffs and actually give them a chance to do something.
Let's talk fan obsession. The Indiana Fever versus New York Liberty game felt more like a fashion show than a basketball matchup. Fans didn't show up, they arrived. In Prada. Belt bags, designer shades, all waiting for Caitlin Clark like it was a Taylor Swift concert. This wasn't about the team, it was about her. Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete, she's a brand. Her merch doesn't sell out, it disappears. Her jersey's flipping faster than Bitcoin in 2017. Resale prices, through the roof. Sabrina Ionescu dropped 34 huge, but even that couldn't steal the spotlight. Clark didn't just come back, she took over. And honestly, it's starting to look like it's her lead now.
And much to the credit of Caitlin Clark, this team won a massive, massive game. It was not without flaws, believe it or not. If I wanted to, we could really get into it, but we won't as much. Number one of the greatest single half performances I've ever seen.
In Clark, 3-point distance in the first half was 34 feet, 28 feet, 27 feet, 31 feet, 27 feet. The third 3-point line is 22 feet away. Guys, talk about